Hello everyone.
It's Madi Madison from Spectrum Art.
That's right. It's Maddie and Madison from Spectrum Art. Thank you for that intro, Madison. All right, what are we doing today? We are going to be actually creating tags using only 7 elements. And this is stuff that we usually have around the studio, around the house. And if you don't have most of this, which I'm sure you will, we'll give you some options and alternatives so that you could still go ahead and create and get a very similar effect. So what are we going to be needing today, Madison? What did we use to create these tags?
Pretty paper.
Right, some pretty paper. So we're going to need some kind of decorative paper. So whether you have a paper pad or some printables from online, either one will work.
A nice journaling page.
That's right. We'll need some kind of a page that has some interest, some appeal to it that can be journaled on.
Distress ink.
The distress inks, correct. And you can use either these or just regular inks, right? These kind of little tiny ones that you can go around the edges and choose your colors, of course. And what else? What else?
Glue.
Our glue, that's right. And for this one, we're just going to be needing regular white glue because we're just going to be adhering paper on paper. Then we're going to need what?
Way to cut edges.
Our way to cut angles, right? We are going to be using the We Are Memory Keepers tag punch. But again, if you do not have this, not a big deal. You can either just eyeball, just measure your angles. You could also make one of these like little rulers, that we did just utilizing one of those credit cards that they sent us in the mail. You just go ahead and measure and cut your angles and then use that to trace around.
Okay.
What else?
Solid color paper.
Right, a piece of paper that's going to be solid in color. This is cardstock. We ended up using some high grade construction paper, which we love the feel of it because it's not as smooth and as slick. It's got those fibers in it, which was great.
Okay.
But any will do.
Next thing,
And
sewing
then-
machine.
And a sewing machine, which of course we don't have here. Right, we need a mini one. But if you do not have a sewing machine, this is not a problem. Again, because you could either, voila, use a needle and thread, right? And if you want to do a faux stitch around it and you don't even want to do that, just grab some markers, right? Or some gel pens, even permanent markers, anything. A regular pen will do, It all depends on the look you're going for. But this is all that you're going to need. And most of us have all of this already in our home and in our craft room, right? Or classrooms, whatever it is that you guys are utilizing. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at what it is that we did while we go ahead and clear this out. I do want to mention that the inspiration for this came from this right here. If you guys remember, we had done, yes, thank you, Madison. We had done these tags right here, in which we had used this collection, and we had used half of that page here. The bottom half is what we had used. So obviously we had some leftover pieces, as you can see right here, right? And we had the other half of this. And of course, we utilize everything, correct? We do not want to waste, and we just want to be creative and find ways to utilize what we already have at hand. And so that is where the idea for these tags actually came in. So we created coordinating tags utilizing these 2 elements that we had from those other tags. If you haven't seen this video, then I'll be sure to go ahead and link it below, and you can go ahead and look at these awesome journaling tags that we had created, and make sure that you stay tuned because we also have a couple of announcements. But let's go ahead and get on with showing you what it was that we ended up actually creating. So out of these, we ended up creating all of these lovely yummies. Look at these, guys. Let me just go ahead and try and spread them out. But I'll show you one up close. And some of them have like different zigzags, and some have these other like little vines. But most of them, this one's got like some kind of a flower vine as well. But on most of them, we went ahead and ended up with the stitch because we really liked the way that these actually looked. So how did we get to this point? Well, the first thing we went ahead and did is we used a coordinating top and that bottom other piece, right? We adhere them utilizing our glue to the black either cardstock or whatever other paper you would like to go ahead and use. We like the solid background because it just, gives it more of a presentation and an edge while you're at it. Then we went ahead and used our cutter, right? Our angle cutter, and we did all the little angles right here on all of these. That's what that chomper, that's the angle that it actually cuts at. But again, you can either do that by hand, you can trace it, you can measure it, you can just use a pencil and a ruler and that'll work just as well. Then once we were done with that, we went ahead and used a sewing machine and went around and sewed. Okay, we actually stitched it, right? And then we did a decorative stitch down the middle. Again, you do not have a sewing machine, grab your needle and thread. You don't want to do that, grab some markers, right? And just basically create any design that you'd like and create a faux stitch. Then finally, we went ahead and distressed the edges. So these actually now coordinate, where's that other one again, Madison? These actually coordinate beautiful with these. I mean, look, because they're from the same paper pack, right? So you've got coordinating tags. They're not identical in size, but again, the idea is that they coordinate and they're very organic. So if you're putting this in a layout, if you're using this one maybe in a pocket, and then you could utilize this one in the next page and they'll coordinate beautifully, right? So this is another great way to go ahead and utilize what you have. Now, let me go ahead and share with you, well, we got two things to share. And if you have any questions on any of these, feel free to go ahead and leave the comments below. But we wanted to share that we have a very exciting announcement coming up. Can't tell you what just yet, but it will be coming in the next couple of weeks. So please stay tuned for the upcoming videos because we've got something really, really cool to share. The other announcement we wanted to make is that, yes, Madison wanted to do a giveaway. She wanted to go ahead and send the materials to make one of these. And again, if you haven't watched that, the link will be below. But she wants to share with you the elements for you to go ahead and put together your own journaling tag and either add pictures or embellishments or whatever you'd like to do. So,
or writing on it.
Right, they could just journal all over. That's the whole idea. So we will be sending this when, Madison? On March the 6th. So in order to be entered into that, go ahead and just leave your comment below. Give us some feedback, share with us what you'd like, what you think, and of course right, what kind of papers you think you would like to use for any of these, or if you have any other ideas, we love to hear back from you. Most importantly, remember, everyone can do this. Everyone can craft. It doesn't matter what you have in your home. You can go ahead and look around magazines, find some interesting elements. Even wrapping paper can be mounted on other papers to give it a nice thickness. So please go ahead and give these a try and let us know if you do. Leave us a thumbs up and we will see you guys soon, hopefully.
Bye.
Bye. Have a blessed day.